The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zexathor of the Vrillian Empire cleared his throat, his crystalline vocal sacs producing a harmonic tone that commanded attention. Around the circular assembly, representatives from 47 species waited, their varied forms casting strange shadows under the chamber's bioluminescent ceiling. "Honored delegates," Zexathor began, his translator device rendering his words into dozens of languages simultaneously. "We gather today to address a matter that has become embarrassing for our collective intelligence. For the last 2 centuries, we have wasted resources investigating claims of a species called humanity. Expeditions have been mounted. Archives have been searched. And yet we have found nothing." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. Councillor Mirax, a floating gaseous entity from the nebula reaches, pulsed with colors indicating curiosity. "The evidence suggests they were merely folklore," Mirax transmitted through the chamber's psychic network. "Stories told by primitive cultures to explain ancient artifacts they couldn't understand." "Precisely," Zexathor continued. "The so-called human ruins are clearly remnants of the predecessor civilization." "The human language found in data fragments?" "Corrupted files, nothing more. It is time we officially declare humanity a myth and redirect our efforts to actual scientific pursuits." As the vote commenced, with delegate after delegate casting their approval, none noticed the subtle flicker in the chamber's communication systems. A signal, impossibly old yet unmistakably advanced, had just penetrated their most secure networks. Halfway across the galaxy, in the darkness between spiral arms where no star dared shine, something ancient stirred. The Exodus fleet, as humanity had once called it, began to wake from its long slumber. Thousands of generation ships, some larger than moons, powered up systems that hadn't been active in over 2 millennia. Commander Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the flagship Persistence, her gray hair tied back as she studied the holographic display before her. At 87 years old, she was young by the fleet standards. Born in the deceleration phase, she'd never known Earth except through archives and stories. "Confirmation from all sectors," reported Lieutenant Okonkwo, his dark eyes reflecting the glow of his console. The Council's transmission was genuine. "They've officially declared us extinct." Sarah allowed herself a thin smile. "Extinct. After everything we survived." She thought of the stories passed down through generations. Earth's sudden silence 3,000 years ago, the desperate launch of the Exodus fleet, the centuries-long journey through the void while the rest of the galaxy forgot they'd ever existed. "Ma'am," called out Dr. Yuki Tanaka from the science station, her voice trembling with excitement, "the quantum Ansible network is stable. We can reach them. We can reach the Council." Sarah took a deep breath. Her great-grandmother had been among the original crew, had watched Earth's sun shrink to a pinpoint and then vanish entirely. Generations had been born, lived and died in the cold between stars, keeping humanity's flame alive with nothing but hope and stubbornness. "Open a channel," Sarah commanded. "All frequencies. Make sure everyone in Council space hears this." The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, their fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. Across the Exodus fleet, similar scenes played out on thousands of ships. Families gathered in common areas. Children who'd learned about the galaxy only from textbooks pressed their faces to view screens, eager to glimpse the civilization that had forgotten them. "Channel open, Commander," Okonkwo confirmed. Sarah stepped forward, allowing the cameras to capture her image. Behind her, through the observation window, the vast armada of humanity stretched into infinity, a testament to survival, adaptation, and an unwillingness to simply fade away. "Attention, Galactic Council," she began, her voice steady and clear. "This is Commander Sarah Chen of the human vessel Persistence, flagship of the Exodus fleet. We've received your recent declaration with great interest." In the Council chamber, chaos erupted. Every screen, every holographic display, even personal communication devices suddenly showed the same image. A human woman, unmistakably alien yet eerily familiar, standing before a window that revealed a fleet beyond comprehension. "For 3,000 years, Sarah continued, humanity has wandered the dark between stars. We fled a catastrophe you've long forgotten. We watched from the void as the galaxy moved on without us. We became stories, then legends, then myths, and finally, as of today, officially extinct. Zexthor's crystalline form had gone completely transparent with shock. Around him, delegates frantically consulted with their military advisors, their scientists, anyone who could explain what they were witnessing. "We do not return seeking vengeance or conquest," Sarah said, her expression softening slightly. "We've spent too long surviving to waste energy on grudges, but we did want to correct your records." Her smile grew wider. "Humanity is not a myth. We are not extinct. We are not your predecessors' echoes." She gestured to the fleet behind her, and the camera pulled back to show the true scope of the armada. Thousands upon thousands of vessels, each one a world unto itself, each one carrying the descendants of those who'd refused to let their species end. "We're back," Sarah declared simply, "and we'd very much like to join your council if you'll have us. We have 3,000 years of unique perspectives to share, technologies developed in isolation, and stories that might just remind you all of something important." "What's that?" Counselor Mirax managed to transmit, their gaseous form roiling with confusion. Sarah's eyes gleamed with something ancient and profound, the look of a species that had stared into the abyss and simply refused to blink. "That survival isn't about being the strongest or the smartest or the most advanced," she said quietly. "It's about being too stubborn to give up. And humans?" Her smile turned fierce. "We're very stubborn." The transmission ended, leaving the council in stunned silence. Above them, the chamber's sensors detected the approach of the Exodus fleet, moving at speeds that should have been impossible, closing the distance that had separated humanity from the galaxy for 3 millennia. The myth had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same.